By our Fox News count, the House is now just 5 GOP votes away from bringing several DACA bills to the House floor via something called a discharge petition. It's basically a parliamentary tactic to get around the GOP leadership that we told you about last night. So-called moderate Republicans and Democrats are working together to advance a bill that would give amnesty to Dreamers. That's their ultimate goal. Speaker Paul Ryan calls the effort pointless because the president would veto it. Let's get the inside story from House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. Congressman Scalise, this is really upsetting to a lot of us who have seen how this movie always ends. In 2007, the amnesty thing went down in flames. 2013-14, it was so bad with the Gang of Eight that even Marco Rubio now has stepped back from that. And now here we are in the midterm elections. We need everybody unified, and these, frankly, open borders Republicans, that's what I call them, are pushing this move. What's happening?
Well, Laura, first of all, it's good to be back with you, and I don't want to see this discharge petition move because I want to solve the problem. I'm a co-sponsor of the Goodlatte-McCall bill, which really does address all of the different pillars.
Chain migration, all the other issues.
Actually fund the wall, secure the border, end chain migration, the visa lottery, and address DACA, which was a problem, by the way, that Barack Obama created. He said, hey, come to this country illegally, bring your kids, and it's still illegal. We're not going to try to change the law. We'll just look the other way and let somebody else fix it. President Trump said he actually wants to solve this problem, and we're working with President Trump to get a solution. But blanket amnesty with no border protection and no wall is not the answer.
What was happening behind closed doors? You guys had a big meeting yesterday. It got pretty heated. What's the feeling? Is this a big divide in the party? Is this 2025 Republican?
You know, immigration's always been a complicated issue within the Republican conference because you can see the different approaches that we want to take.
What did the president run on? He ran on law and order at the borders,
securing
stop
the border,
this nonsense and build the wall. And Congress passes an omnibus bill that doesn't fund the wall. The president, I think, was led to believe it did. That's what Republicans are really upset about.
There's about 110 miles of new wall in the omnibus, but ultimately what we want is a long-term solution, the full funding for the wall. But really the other issues are so important, too, and that is interior enforcement. Look, Secretary Nielsen will tell you, right now this catch and release, these other programs where she literally can have a felon come out of prison who's here illegally, and she can't deport him out of the country. We need to close those loopholes. We need to end a lot of those problems. Friends of mine like Martha McSally have worked really hard on those provisions of Goodlatte-McCall to make sure that we can get back to rule of law and secure our border. And so that's the approach we would like to take, working with President Trump, who wants to solve the problem.
This is what Nancy Pelosi said today about this. Let's watch.
Bring up the bill. Bring up all their bills. Queen of the Hill. We believe that this bipartisan bill that the members have put together who share the value of protecting the Dreamers is the bill that would win. We have an answer. There is a path. Let's get it done. And if not, why not?
Everyone watching should know that the 20 Republicans who are pushing this discharge petition are with the person you just saw on the screen, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. That is shocking. We now have 40% of Americans, Congressman Scalise, who say the country's going in the right direction. It was about 30% a year ago.
And that number's growing, which
growing
is
and growing
because of what President Trump's been doing to get the economy moving again, get regulations under control, work with us on so many issues like that are really the most meaningful for people. And then you look at Nancy Pelosi just last week. She said if she was Speaker again, she would raise your taxes. She would try to undo these great Trump tax cuts that we were able to get through. But keep in mind, when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker, the entire time she had the majority, she never tried to fix this problem. It wasn't until they lost the majority that all of a sudden she wanted to do something. So they had super majorities. They never tried to solve DACA. They want it as a political issue. We want to solve the problem, but in a way that restores rule of law and builds the wall.
Now, you and McCarthy have been holding the line on this. Tough stance. Not tough stance. I think you're reflecting the will of the people and reflecting the president's agenda, which is, for me, the only path forward for the GOP at this point. Jeff Denham, big liberal Republican. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a friend of yours. But he was on I think it was Martha McCallum's show, or Tucker's show tonight, excuse me. And he basically said, this is the way to deliver a solution to the president. The president wants a solution. This is the answer. He said there are a lot of bills who are possible, but we're delivering a comprehensive solution that will stop the 500,000 people a year, whatever it is, crossing the border.
Yeah, look, Jeff's a friend, but we disagree strongly on this. And I think that's the wrong approach that he's taken. But ultimately, what we want to do is work with President Trump to find a solution. Proposing some idea that's going to bring the DREAM Act to the House floor and maybe even pass something like the DREAM Act, which is blanket amnesty for more than 3 million people with no border security. That's not only not the right answer, but President Trump would even veto that bill. So why pursue some agenda that ultimately
Why are they
leads to a
pursuing
veto?
it? Why are they doing it?
Why don't we continue working together to try to get a solution that President Trump would sign into law to solve the problem?
Are they trying to embarrass the president?
No, I think that they, look, and they come from districts where they want to do something different than what we want to do on it. Let's get the right solution that President Trump will sign.
See, you're too nice. The New Orleanians or the Louisianans are too nice. Okay, I'm from Connecticut. We'll just say no. This is Congressman.
We have some street brawling too, but at the end of the day, we want to get this problem solved.
Well, great to see you as always.
Always great to be back.
Come back soon.